just a few inches from victory. Look at this. Here it comes. The rock bottom. Oh, nobody gets up from that, JR. I can't believe he countered that one. Looks like someone's heading for the high-rent district.
The briefcase is within reach. This match is within seconds of being over. He is literally inches from victory in this Money in the Bank match.
for charity, and something like 75 pounds of clothes.
We don't know.
Yeah.
We
Has
hide.
it worked for you? The problem with me is it's like when you multiply anything with naught.
You do it to the power of
Exactly.
as well, it's still-
Nothing ever happens.
Yeah, okay, shame.
And I'm a fat little ugly fella like Reg Varney.
Well, there are lots of
You
people
don't
there
have
that
to
you
say
don't
that on
like,
radio,
and you
because some
sort of
people
you
don't
could go
know.
up to afterwards and almost like metaphorically flip the bird.
What's that mean?
Last week, yeah, flip the bird.
You dirty. No.
Middle finger.
And see, I married Steve single. but
No,
he
what
doesn't
are you
go-
talking about?
What?
Well, and there are lots of people there.
I thought it was a euphemism.
Who you haven't got on with in the past, and then they've all been really nice to you. What I'm talking
We
about.
get on with everyone, don't we?
Oh,
What
that's
does
a
flip
lie.
the bird mean? What does
Flip
flip
the
the
bird
bird
means. You got that hipster thing.
The finger, it means giving the finger.
Yeah, but I thought there was a dirty metaphor.
No.
You're always thinking this.
Don't bring me down to your level till at least 5 minutes. All right. Coming up after the break, we've got Steve and Ricky and lovely Claire. We're driving their desk. Right, Claire?
Hello.
Don't bend over like that, Claire.
Sorry.
Put a longer top on or something. You're up, boys. You're very studious there.
We are, we're working hard on the
Just
show.
working out what we're going to play, and what order.
I love the way you even live
What
the
about
pretense.
What about some Foo Fighters mixed with the Strokes, Ricky?
I wouldn't mind a bit of Strokes or no order. What should we kick in with?
Undecided yet, Rick. Probably got some ads to help us decide.
That
Some advertising.
dilemma will be revealed in just under 4 minutes. Stick around.
Merry
for
Christmas, Tim.
New Order and Crystal on XFM 104.9. Now listen to Ricky Gervais, obviously.
With Steve Merchant.
Yeah,
Hi.
yeah.
Well, they like to know. They like to know if I'm
They
here.
don't like to know.
The fans do.
Yeah. Now that was one of my favourite singles of the year.
Yeah, it's a good song.
And that's what we're going to be doing in this programme.
We are going to be playing some of our favourite songs from the year, Rick. That's absolutely
We're
true.
also going to be playing some songs that maybe we don't like,
Exactly.
just for the hell of it.
Yeah, because we're crazy guys.
Yeah.
We never know what's going to happen next.
No, we don't.
Guess who's pressing the
We
buttons, Rick?
genuinely don't.
Well, you know who's pressing the buttons. You can see her, but
That's
the
why
audience
we don't know
don't.
what's going to happen next.
It's Sturgis.
We've got Sturgis in.
Claire Sturgis.
Clocks from the Coldplay on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant, and back Carl Pilkington.
Hey.
He's raring to go. It's nice when you have a bit of time off, isn't it?
Yeah, how long have you had off now
About
then,
3
Carl?
weeks.
About
About 3
is it?
weeks, yeah. We can't do that because we're sort of self-employed and we'd be letting people down. But it's different when you get paid anyway, whether you turn up or not. But good to have
I'm
you back. Good to
never, I'm
have
never
you.
off ill.
No,
That's the
good-
first time I've
No,
ever
I
been
just-
off ill. Like,
Well, no,
except-
I mean, just you're off 2 weeks and then you're off.
No, I just wish I was the kind of person who could let down an audience
I know,
of regular
really, yeah.
listeners.
Yeah, but like I say,
Well, no, we spoke to you. You weren't that bad. A cold, you don't go home for a cold. We were discussing this last night in the pub, and you don't go home for a cold. Okay, then, so moving on. What have we got then? We've got some
Wasn't
great
cold,
songs.
though.
I've brought in the Smiths. I've brought in Buzz Cox. I've brought in Neil Young. I know Steve's got some hip hop.
Some great hip hop.
I've got
Hooray!
some great Elvis Costello. It's going to be great. Carl, come on, concentrate. You've been away for 3
it's
weeks.
just a noise. No, stop saying that.
What?
Because you're annoying me now.
Why? Oh,
Is that
what
what
you
you
do? Go home ill? Oh, he's annoyed me. Oh, has he? Yeah,
I got a bit of a
wet jeans
headache.
and I'm a little bit annoyed. Can I have some time off but still get paid? Yes, of course you can,
Steve,
Carl.
right? He called me up, winding me up about this. And right, I'm 30. Right, I'm 30 now. I can only remember being off 2 times.
Oh, his memory's going as well. You'll have some time off.
And both of them were when I was at school.
School? What's
one-
school?
One when it was windy.
Why did you have time off? Because it was windy.
But to be honest, Carl, that lasted for
wait.
7 years. Your time
wait,
off at
wait,
school.
Wait. Why did you have time off? Because it was windy.
Were you windy, or was it windy outside?
No, it was like when
Your auntie wasn't out the window, was she?
when the winds were bad in the 70s, and my mum said, "Oh,
What? Whoa. What? I remember space operas and flares. I don't
Yeah.
remember the winds being bad in the 70s.
well, my mum just said, you might get blown into the road, so don't go."
She had so much faith in you, didn't she? As a human being.
Is that why she got fired from the pie shop? I'm not coming in today, I might get blown into the road.
Oh, God.
The funny thing it was, right, Steve, they had this thing going at school, because a lot of people used to wag it back then.
You still what?
Wag it, sort of not go in,
Right.
right? And they sort of tried to make it interesting for you by giving you a
An education.
certificate if you did
Yeah.
a full week.
Reward for the rest
Yeah,
of your life
exactly,
with
yeah.
achievement. That
Right.
sort of carrot.
And also, like, let you go home at 3 o'clock on a Friday,
Right.
If you'd done a full week and that.
Yeah.
So it was lovely weather all week. Then it just sort of changed on a Friday, and I got up and it was all windy.
It's
My
always
mum
windy
said,
for Friday on 7, isn't it?
don't, if you don't want, don't go in, because, you might get blown into the road and that. So I said, alright, then I'll stay off. And
So why did you told you to hold on to a fence or
Yeah.
walk you there? What's this? Don't go out. if you
Immediately
get
give
blown-
up.
I love this getting blown into the road. Is that based on your cats that kept getting blown into the road?
well, so I got to school on the Monday, right? And the teacher said,
Took you a
right,
long time.
today, to punish you, you're the only one who wrecked the whole week, right? Everyone else came in, you didn't. So everyone else is going home at 3 o'clock today, but you're not.
Brilliant. Serves you right. And
I wasn't bothered though. It was great because I said, well, you'll have to stay with me, won't you? And it was
Brilliant.
great. So all I did for half an hour was doodle and stuff. It was great that afternoon.
yeah.
And that was ages ago. That was like when I was about 8. And that's one of the times I was off ill.
Yeah.
So it was.
But that wasn't even ill. That was wind.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit different when you're
to be honest with
adult
you-
world though, Carl. You can't just not turn up because you've got a bit of a cold or you're a bit fed up. I mean, we had an appointment 4 o'clock Thursday, wasn't it? And he had to call it because I cancelled it. Meeting went on a bit late.
Yeah.
Time management. Get things done. If it was important, you'd get it done. Play a record, Carl.
Pull your finger out, please.
Elvis Costello, Alison. What a great track that is. Beautiful. Well, Carl, we'd better tell them all the new great features we've come up with in the time you were off.
right. Well, we've got the film thing still going.
Okay.
Yeah. That's where you take a lead role or a major role in a Hollywood blockbuster, which we then give away on VHS worth $6.99.
And something new we're trying out because Rockbusters
He's dead, thankfully. Yes.
is it's gone for a bit.
It's over.
Crosswords.
Crosswords.
Oh, this sounds intriguing. Where'd you get the idea from? What's the basic format of this?
Right. What I've done is I've take like a popular saying from the show.
A popular what?
A popular saying, something that crops up quite a lot in the show.
In our show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First thing that sprang to mind was there's this hairy Chinese kid.
Oh, classic.
But more commonly, it would be something like, Carl, you're an idiot.
Yeah, play
Carl,
a record,
you
you're
idiot.
a fool.
Carl, you're a fool.
Oh, what did you mean you let us down again?
Yeah,
You
Carl,
should've
where have you
here.
been?
Yeah,
Oh,
you...
you've got a headache, have you, Carl? You better have a lie down.
Oh.
Typical
Yeah.
phrases like that,
Yeah,
sure.
typical phrases like that, yeah.
Carl, you're a loser. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And what I've done, I've got a load of different songs and took words from the different songs and then joined them together
Yeah.
to make there's this hairy Chinese kid. And then people have to email in and say what the 5 songs were.
It sounds like the most complicated game ever. I'm looking forward to it. Have you heard any of this, Rick? Because I've not heard this at all. I'm
Yeah.
not familiar with this.
Well, all it is, it'd go like, "Hey, Chinese kid," and it's from sort of 4 different songs,
Right.
and you've got to identify the songs.
Right. Wow.
How many songs in this, Carl? You have-
5. There's this hairy Chinese kid.
Okay,
Right?
so
And what are the prizes for that? Are these the prizes?
Yeah.
Alright, well let me tell you what they are. They're not too bad actually. We've got Live Forever, which I assume is a CD that ties in with this new film.
think of that. A well-known phrase from the show, and it's hairy Chinese kid.
Yeah.
What other? Where would you?
There
hear
is no
that
other radio show in the
life?
world.
This is. Go on.
If you've just tuned in, I
Yeah,
mean, what are you
do you
thinking?
think if you've just tuned in? You're going well-known phrase from Shaw, hairy Chinese kid. Oh yeah, classic. They'll be playing that in charades this Christmas.
So yeah, this is a CD that ties in with this new film Live Forever, which is all about Britpop, and so there's stuff on there from Oasis, Blur, Pulp, etc. We've also got another Red Dwarf DVD, Marion and Jeff, the first series of that, excellent. That's on VHS sadly, but never mind. And also the very best of Led Zeppelin, a 2 CD set there with all the classics on. So that's not bad prizes actually. Carl, you've done yourself proud.
We've upped it. We're getting serious now. We're playing in the the bigger league. We've upped the stakes. We want Heat magazine not to lose touch with us just because Rockbusters is gone.
Yeah.
I think they're still behind us.
So
We're gonna show the world.
we've got film. You appear in a film. We've got crosswords. How is that to do with the crossword?
Because I've got words and sort of cross them.
Okay.
Right, you don't really cross them. But, good. So words. We're playing a game called Words. Word Song. Hello and welcome to Word Song. Brilliant.
And obviously, I imagine there'll be some more great music.
But we've got a new feature, haven't we?
Which one's this?
Are we doing within the Monkey News the new feature?
Oh, Steve.
I'm excited. You know, Monkey News is my favourite feature. So what have you added to it?
Explain it.
Right, well, there's been loads of stuff going on in the past few weeks, right? But for the times when I struggle, when sort of monkeys have had a quiet week, and there isn't that much news going on, right? Come up with this thing. I sort of speak to an expert. I've spoke to him already.
You spoke to an expert, a
Yeah.
monkey expert.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I ask him a question.
Wow.
Right. The feature, it's got a good name. You know, that's the way I work.
Yep.
Cheap as chimps. Right.
Okay.
And what I do, I ask them a question about, you know, how much does it cost to, you know, keep one? How much does it cost to, you know, feed one for a week?
Yeah.
All this sort of stuff. So I give out like a monkey story, and if that isn't enough for people, they'll also learn something else at the end of it.
Right.
Yeah.
So like,
It sounds fascinating, can I say right now?
That's just some of the things that we've come up with. Play a record, Carl.
Please still continue to listen there.
Yeah.
Baby, come on down.
Richard Ashcroft, Buy It in Bottles on XFM 104.9, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Carl Pilkington.
Carl, I need the phone number of your girlfriend. Let me explain why. I was lucky enough, once again, to be on your quiz team this week. Ricky...
Still to beat me. He's still to beat me with his team, yeah.
We,
Second I came.
The gang here and some friends, we sometimes go down to a pub quiz in the local area, and I was very nicely, I was invited by Carl to be on his team. Twice now I've been on that team. Ricky's always on another team. And, what can I say, Carl? Do you mind me saying this now? Because I've analysed the team, and it's very much your team, and you've put the team together. You've recruited some excellent personnel. Your girlfriend's very, very good on the team, as is one of her work colleagues. And you normally bring in, you know, someone like myself. I like to think I'm providing something with the entertainment section. I seem to remember last time I answered at least 6 or 7 questions that other people hadn't got. So I felt I provided something there. Carl, I rather like John Harvey Jones, who used to be called in to sort of troubleshoot companies. I see why you are not winning ever, and it's a rather pricey contest, isn't it? It costs a tenner to enter per person, and unless you get in the top 3, you're not going to get to see your money back. So I think you're going to maybe need to step down from the team, because Carl, I am not sure. You consider yourself a kind of player manager, but frankly, I'm not sure you're providing enough.
right.
See, this is funny, because as bad as I imagine you are, I don't think Steve would make it into my team, so he's getting a bit cocky here. I want to know what your opinion of him, because he's told me he's great on it.
Well, you bang out of order, first of all. Right?
Okay.
Do you have a good night when you're with us?
I tell you what, I wish I hadn't lost a tenner every time I've come down. That would have improved it.
You point out there about the football analogy.
Mm-hmm.
Alex Ferguson, when did he score a goal?
Right.
He doesn't. He tells the others how to do it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Right? That's
He
my
doesn't
role
take
in
up
there.
one of the 11, though, does he?
No, exactly.
It's not like you can only field 10.
Yeah.
Because, we only got 10 again.
Yeah.
I want to be in the 11.
Exactly. He's not running around in midfield, falling over.
Yeah, shouting, oh, what have I told you?
Yeah.
No.
Right. I'll admit,
And
right?
there's a limit of 5 players. We should explain that. That's the point.
Yeah, there's only 5 players on the team.
players, so...
But it was pretty tricky on Tuesday, though, wasn't it? It was one of the tougher...
Tell everyone the one question you got right.
It was something about,
Well, tell us the answer. The 2 words you had to say to get the answer.
Danny Minogue.
Danny Minogue. That was what you provided, Danny Minogue.
Is this valuable?
Well, no, not really, because
1.6?
there was at least 2 of us who also knew the answer.
Oh, well,
We gave him.
He didn't provide anything.
No, exactly. We gave it to Carl. We massaged his ego.
Oh,
but
dear.
I just feel Carl.
do you know what? I feel a bit bad now, because I just sort of had a crushed face then.
Can I just tell you right now?
He just can't believe this.
Can I just tell you right now? I think the problem is this. I think there's that precious 5th position that is not being filled at the moment, I think, consistently enough by a decent player, right? You've got a solid team. I'm thinking if you want to remain on the team, you are going to have to pull your finger out and find a 5th member that is going to provide, and I'll tell you where the weaknesses are. I can tell you right now, mate. The weaknesses are natural history and science. Something which Ricky Gervais is scoring on week in, week out on his team.
There is a few...
Now, if he was available for a transfer, we could be fine. But we've got to find someone to fill in that space. Otherwise, I'm either going to quit, or you're going to have to step down. Because I don't think I can be on a team where there is these obvious deficiencies. There are visible deficiencies in the
And,
team.
you know, the £10.
That's £10. I'm not made of money. That's once a month.
I've seen him depressed for 2 hours when he lost £20 at a casino after
Don't bring
5
it back.
hours
Don't
playing.
bring that back. Don't bring up that again.
Yeah.
That story.
He doesn't like wasting money, Carl. You know that.
What do you think? What do you think? What's the solution? We've got to think proactively now. We've got to sort this out.
See, there's always other things going on in my mind when I'm in that pub quiz. For me, it's just a little bit of fun.
Sure.
It's a night out. Do you know what I mean? Suzanne enjoys it.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a get-together. We have a chat beforehand.
Yeah.
We have a bit of fun.
Yeah.
But there was other things on my mind.
What were you
Carl,
thinking?
I could do that here. I don't have to lose a tenner.
Wait, what were you thinking during the quiz then, when the questions were coming out? What were you thinking of?
Well, what it was, right, just before the quiz started, I had to go to the toilet, right, because the rule is, right, people who don't go to it, once it starts, phones off,
Oh, yeah,
no
you
more
can't leave
toilet.
the room,
They
yeah.
take it dead serious, don't they, right?
Yeah.
So, I went to the toilet. Now, I'm not being out of order here, it just got me thinking, right? I went to the toilet. The gay fella in there, right?
There was a gay fella in there.
Gay fella in the toilet. Now,
How could you tell?
How did you know?
just typical, you know, everything about it, right?
Everything about it, right, yeah.
Oh.
Well,
Just
large
large-
handlebar moustache, leather cap.
Butt plugs, amyl nitrate. Could I just say that these views do not reflect the views of the management of XFM or me and Steve.
Or
Go on,
most
Carl.
of the people in this country. On
Go
you
on, go on, Carl. What's your problem?
Yeah, but this is what I'm worried about, really. But this is why I only got Danny Minogue right. Right? Because this was floating around my mind. Went
She's
to
a
the
big
toilet.
gay icon,
Now,
isn't she?
going to the toilet, they have like men's cubicle and they have women's cubicle.
Yeah.
Now, without sounding out of order, is it wrong for me to think gay men should have their own little cubicle?
Go in!
They should have their own. Well, not cubicle. You mean an actual toilet, I
Yeah.
suppose.
When I was at the urinal,
Yeah.
normally, you know, there's a fella there and you go, alright. And there's no pressure. But I couldn't go. I was thinking, should I wait? If I go into the toilet, it'll look obvious.
Yeah.
I had loads of pressure, and
But
this was
what were you
going on.
worried
I'm so
about?
sorry.
What were
I'm
you
so
concerned
sorry,
about?
Viewers. I'm so
Well,
sorry.
it's like, right, listen, when I was a kid, right, and it's alright for you to go into women's toilets when you're a kid, it's like, oh, it's a bit cute,
Yeah.
right, as long as you're not, like, over 15 or something, right?
Right.
But when I was a kid, I went into a toilet, and women, when they use their little cubicles, they don't shut the door. Some of them just sit down on the toilet,
Yeah.
right, and you see everything. And, no, seriously, that's probably one of the first times I saw, like, a woman.
Yeah.
That, right, and my Auntie Nora when she was staying over.
What happened with your Auntie Nora?
She was, she's into wearing caftans.
Into wearing what?
You know, caftans.
Oh, yeah.
What are caftans?
Big, bellowy sort of dresses.
Right, right.
And, yeah, I used to sit on the floor at home in front of the telly.
Sure.
She was on the chair behind.
Yeah.
She did a bit of a, sort of a Sharon Stone scene.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
There was no underwear.
No.
What age were you?
What was it like?
What age were
It
you?
was like a ripped tennis ball. So.
What? Right, we're off air. We're off air. Either that or put us in for the Sonys. That's how I'm living. Ice-T. That's how I'm living. Bit old school hip-hop.
Where's RT? All right.
Good point, yeah.
Go make me a cup of coffee or something.
Well, before you do that, can I just qualify something? I'm a little bit concerned
Yeah.
about your toilet discussion. What exactly is your point again? I was
Yeah,
just a bit bemused.
You see, it's a tricky one. All I'm saying is, right, there I was at the pub quiz, I go to the toilet, not thinking about anything, I try to go, right, there's a little gay fella next to me.
I love this little gay fella.
Now, the weird thing is, there's nothing stopping him having a little glance, right, because he's allowed in the fella's toilet.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not allowed to go into the woman's toilet and have a little look round.
Right.
So all I'm saying is, should they have another toilet area?
What, for gay people?
Yeah.
And so this would be gay men and lesbians? Is that going to complicate things?
I mean, I can only assume. I mean, to what point? I'll ask you a question, right? If you're intimidated, that's a shame. But you know, most gay men aren't looking at your knob. You know that.
What do you mean?
I can only say that 99.9% of gay men who use a urinal standing next to what they assume is a heterosexual man aren't looking at his knob.
What are they doing then?
They're emptying their bladder.
No, but the thing is,
I can't talk politics with Carl.
you're saying, like, you know, about would you have one toilet for lesbian women and gay fellas, right?
Well, does that mean? Yeah, would it be mixed? Would it just be?
Well,
would it have a man on one? That's heterosexual man. One little picture of a woman on the other, and then what? What would the little icon be?
A man and a woman.
A man and a woman.
Just having a chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In pink and
But you couldn't mix them, because then what would happen is you'd get people who are going, oh, I'll play up to this a bit,
What, pretend to be gay?
and yeah, you know, sort of grow a moustache and shave their head.
and pretend to be a lesbian.
Right. Yeah. So, I see, so you know people pretending to be gay so they could go in and have a look at the lesbians.
Yeah.
Right. So that would mean that we need 4 cubicles now, wouldn't
Yeah, no, this is fine. 4 cubicles.
So every pub
How
now...
many toilets do we need at the
Every pub's
moment?
now got 4 toilets.
Oh, Carl, bisexuals.
Yeah. No, interesting.
Bisexuals. How many toilets do we need now? Call
you-
the council.
Do you use any?
Huh?
No.
No, because they're interested in everything, aren't they?
Because a little bisexual fella will be looking at your knob.
Right. With them,
Yeah.
what you do, you just have a door, you open it, and there's one urinal there, so you can't get a queue. They have to sort of wait.
I just thought that, well, why can't there just be a thing between the urinals? So no one can look at anyone else's knob.
Wait a
Full
minute,
stop.
wait a minute. Just to go back to Ricky's point, what stops, even if we've got the toilet for gay men, what stops the gay men who want to have a look at your willy going in the regular toilet and pretending that they're straight?
Most men don't
Who's
wear,
gonna police
don't
this?
wear gay across their
No,
head.
exactly.
They don't have a tattoo. There's no branding yet in the British house where they have to declare.
So we're going to have to expand this.
What
So we've
do
all
you-
got to carry identity
Do you know
cards.
you can see a gay, can you, coming a mile off? No?
No, I'll just hold it in next time.
No. Can you tell gay men? Do you know a gay man?
I'd say, probably, if you did like if you lined some people up
Yeah.
and said, point them out, I reckon I'd get,
But hold on, we're not talking about people dressed in leather with the arse cut out and an handlebar moustache.
yeah.
We're talking about, you know, the everyday,
No,
non-seen...
of course,
Oh,
yeah.
well, yeah, but I mean, suppose I put you in a room and there was 10 naked men, right?
Yeah.
And, there's 5 gay men and 5 hetero. Could you walk along that line looking at those gay...
Am I naked?
No, you don't have to be naked. Why would you have to be
To
naked?
catch them out?
How would you catch them out?
Don't go into it, don't go into it. Don't go into it, play a record. The Thrills, One Horse Town on XFM 104.9, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant and Carl Pilkington. Now Carl Pilkington is getting ready. It's the start of a new strand in the show, a new quiz, a new competition to replace Rockbusters. Now that's quite a tall order, but what have you done?
Right, like I said, right, if you've only just tuned in, what it is, I've took, and I'll be taking, a well-known saying every week from the show, something that crops up a lot. First one that sprang to mind was,
There's a little gay fella standing next to me in the urinal?
that's next week.
Okay.
This week, there's this airy Chinese kid, right?
Yeah.
That crops up quite a lot,
Sweeping the nation.
right? So what I've done, I've got 5 songs,
Yeah.
and I've edited them together to make that saying.
You've got words from songs where any part of that sentence occurs to recreate it.
Yeah.
Now, what do they need to do? Do they need to say what the song is? Just the 5 songs?
I mean, I was going to say song and artist, but if you want, just a song.
So there's 5 things there, and if someone doesn't get all 5, it's still worth emailing in because we might give it to the one who's got the most, and then...
Yeah.
Can I suggest we go for artist rather than song? Only because sometimes it's quite tricky to get a song title. Sometimes it's it's very odd, or it's not quite what you think it is. So maybe artist is an easier one.
Are you happy with that, Carl? It's your
that all right?
competition.
I mean, Steve always does this whenever I come up with an idea.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just trying to make sure it's just the best it can
yeah.
be, Carl.
Yeah, no, he came up with a few game shows and Steve was going, no, it's no good. And Carl said to me, he said, it's the one of The Office ever got on telly.
Yeah, but, well, we shall see how Cheapest Chimps plays out, but frankly, the fact that, the fact that you said to me, Steve, I've come up with the best game show ever, it's called Cheapest Chimps, what's the idea? I don't know, I just like the name. It's something to do with chimps. I thought, well, I'm not sure that's the best game show ever. And what was the other one you came up with that you told me
about?
about?
People will be disagreeing with him, Carl. I think people will say that Cheapest Chimps could be the best game show ever.
You know, when I was at school, people like you, I really didn't like. You're a stirrer, Gervais. He flits, doesn't he, from one side to the next, Carl. The one thing, we may argue, mate, but at least we're consistent. Ricky Gervais flipping from one side to the other. One day he's on Carl's side.
When was the last time Steve wrestled you to the ground and got you in a leg clamp?
No, you're right.
Never.
What, is that supposed to be a good thing?
Well, did you see us?
Yeah, I saw you struggling in Carl's office earlier.
He was punching my legs to release me. We were on the floor, and I was squeezing him with my mighty legs, wasn't I, Carl?
Right.
It was like, I imagine that's what a crab feels like when an octopus has got it. We were playing that, weren't we?
So anyway... So, I'll play you this clip now. It's 10 seconds long. We'll play it a couple of times, because you'll need to take it in. So here it is then. What are we saying? We're saying artists?
Let's go with artists.
Artists. So email in ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. Name the 5 artists it has taken to make up the saying, there's this airy Chinese kid.
Give that email address again.
ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
There's this airy Chinese kid.
Here we go. Play it again.
Play it again.
There we go.
I think you better play it once more.
Oh, I've got them.
Have you got them all?
Yeah.
That's nice work.
Here we go.
I can just remind you now that the prizes include a Red Dwarf DVD, Marion and Jeff, the first series of that on VHS, a Live Forever Britpop CD, and also the very best of Led Zeppelin. Let's play one of those actually while we're here. Brilliant. Rock and roll. One of the prizes on Carl's competition this week is the very best Led Zeppelin, that's obviously rock and roll. We've also got a Live Forever Britpop CD, Marion and Jeff, and Red Dwarf. And should we play it again? So people have got
this
another
hairy
chance?
Chinese kid.
Who are the artists?
Here we go.
It's tricky, it's not very easy. Once more.
One more.
Well, there you go.
Ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. Those prizes can be yours. I, at the quiz, also discovered, of course, and, I don't know, I'm just intrigued to know, Carl, I'm just intrigued to know. It was your girlfriend's birthday, wasn't it? Earlier in the week? Or last week?
On Monday, yeah.
And, I mean, obviously it was a triumph with the stuff you got her for Christmas.
The condoms.
The box of condoms?
Box set of condoms.
Oh, yeah.
not just the singles, the whole set.
Yeah, a complete collection.
Brilliant.
So what did you go for this
What did
time?
you get her?
Yeah, but...
No,
Yeah,
but it's her birthday. How long have you been together?
About 9 years.
Okay, so, ooh, God, it must cost you so much. every
No, but it
birthday.
starts getting tricky, doesn't it? Because I spoiled her a lot in the first few years.
Yeah.
So then you
Here's
start...
a packet of rubber bands, enjoy them.
Oh.
Well, it's what she wanted.
Okay.
I mean, you're making out as if...
No, everyone wants paper clips. Come on, what did you get her?
Got her a new pair of gloves.
Right.
Alright, well.
And?
What, nice leather ones from Selfridges or Harrods or something?
They were good ones, they're the sort she likes, so... They weren't...
Well, they weren't the little woolen ones that she had.
Yeah.
I thought that was a joke when she said he got me these, because I laughed.
No, but I know that's... The one she did have,
When they said it's his birthday, it was her birthday Monday, and me and Steve wanted to get her, and she went, he got me these, because she had those little woolen gloves on. I laughed, because I thought she was joking, Carl.
That's what she wanted.
Right.
I've told you before about buying presents. It's
Did those gloves have your name sewn in them? and a piece of string that ran over the back of your duffel coat.
You know, I've never been into getting presents and that. I had the problem at that Christmas one, that time with the Victoria Plum.
Yeah, we'd hate that. We'd hate to bring that back.
We've done that.
Because you talked about the book, because it's kind of to do with your dad, isn't it? He's a very bad gift buyer. Was that the problem?
Well, yeah, my dad just wouldn't bother. It was my mum who sort of made an effort, and she sort of worked out half of what I wanted, then she left it to my dad to get it off someone, see if he could get one cheap or whatever.
I love the fact that usually people talk about, like, drinking heavily or violent abuse, right?
Yeah.
But here's what he's been left with and scarred with from parents is bad gift buying.
Yeah, and
That's
the
not so
Victoria
bad, is
Plum
it?
incident.
In the greater scheme of things in the world,
Yeah, but-
that's not a bad thing to have, is it?
Right, there was this, this is what it's like about getting presents and stuff, right? With me, with my mum and dad.
Go on.
My mate, Colin, right? He
Colin
had,
Makin?
No, Colin Bailey,
Oh,
right? He had a, little, Sinclair Spectrum, right?
Yeah.
Computer,
Yeah.
which was like the thing to have at that
yeah,
time,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Used to always go round to his house. The deal was...
Not the one you had to play through the window because you weren't allowed to.
No, that's another lad.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
This is a different lad, and the deal was, he came to our house, and my mum gave him a pie, and then I'd go round to his, and I'd stay there for a few hours playing, you know, Hungry Horace and stuff like that on it.
Sure.
Right? Now, my mum and dad knew that I really wanted one of these computers, right? So I waited about a year, came round to Christmas Day, I thought, I reckon, might have one. Turned out, they bought me the wrong one. They bought me a ZX81 instead of a Spectrum, right? And, Christmas Day, I'm there trying to load the games up, it's not working, I'm thinking, what's wrong, right? And the thing with me, when I was a kid, I used to get quite sort of agitated.
This
quite
is the moment.
right? I found out that it needed a RAM pack to make it work, right? Looking in the thing and it's saying, and make sure you put your RAM pack in the back. And I was like, oh, where's the RAM pack? And my dad's going, I don't know, I've got you the main bit. That's it. So, I was that wound up, I just was sick, right? Just sick. I didn't feel sick or anything, I just was like, oh god. Went to the sink, just sick. Because I was that on edge about it. I said, come on, we've got to get one. And my dad's like, Tandy's shut, we're not gonna get anything today. Ruined again, Christmas Day. That was after the year when my train set got blown up by our kid. The following year, no RAM pack. And now you ask me why don't I get good presents?
He's scarred. He just
I'm
threw
gonna
up.
die. Honestly, I'm gonna die. It's just screaming sick.
Yeah. There's no RAM pack.
Did you get to the bottom of it? Why wasn't there a RAM pack?
You have to buy them separate.
Oh,
It's one
right,
of them
okay.
cons.
What do you mean I can't play Frogger?
Oh no.
So, wasn't there another incident when you threw up? Spontaneously threw up?
Oh.
Through sheer anxiety?
I do get it. It's not so much now because I've relaxed a bit, but as a kid I used to be quite on edge all the time with certain things.
Do you think that's what happened to your
The
cat
wind.
that kept being sick? That it didn't get the food it wanted, and it just threw up. Do you remember that?
Yeah, yeah.
God, so they shaved it.
Yeah, but again, you see, the cat thing, I mean, it's mad. I was thinking about it the other day, right? I used to think I had quite a normal upbringing,
You didn't.
right? And someone was talking
Your
about the
mother
cat.
once told you not to go to school because it was windy, Carl. It was
Yeah.
not a
Right.
normal
The
upbringing.
cat was being sick, so she shaved it, so it was easier to clean.
Right, well, my mum and dad went on holiday, right? And I stayed at the Rosses down the road.
Oh, yeah.
Only a kid, must have been about 5 or something, right? And, I was always running around in the house. I had a lot of energy as a kid. What the Rosses did, they had this cat that was dead violent, the most violent sort of angry cat I have ever witnessed.
A tiger.
It was, honestly, Steve, if it was bigger, it would have been, because it was just always having a go at you.
Yeah.
If you went to pat it on the head, it went to bite you and stuff. And what they used to do with it, to stop me running around, I'd sort of be running around, and then I'd get a bit tired, and they'd say, have a lie down on the settee. So I'd lie down on the settee and I'd nod off. And what they used to do, I'd wake up, and they'd have put the cat on my belly. Right? So I'd be scared to move, because it's like it's going to get me.
But it would keep you
But
there.
it kept me there, and it used to sort of slaver on me, and they'd sort of, you know, go out or whatever, and I'd be lying there. That's not normal, is it?
Carl, sorry, were you created by the Brothers Grimm for one of their fairy tales? What kind of a life is that?
A cat paperweight face. He keeps blowing around. It's windy. We'll have to weigh him down. Be careful. Your mum probably told him that it's a windy day. You got to get something heavy on him. Otherwise, he just gets blown into the road. God.
Bless him. Carl, let's just hear your thing once more. Give
One
people
more
a
time.
final chance.
Alright, here we go.
Ricky.Gervais at xfm.co.uk.
Can't stop the spirits when I need you. This life is more than just a read-through.
Ooh, those chili peppers are quite hot. Can't stop. XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais. With me, Steve Merchant and Carl Pilkington.
Alright.
Carl, you know what the time is? Bong. Monkey news.
Yeah. Right.
Imagine if Trevor McDonald started like this.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of stuff going on that with monkeys.
Oh, yeah?
I was mentioning earlier how we sort of making the feature grow a bit, right? So, I'm thinking... Oh, I haven't told you, Steve, either. I've actually been asked to write a thing about monkeys.
A poem?
No, for a magazine called something Apes.
Right.
They want me to
Illustrated
do. They want me to do like a column, 500 words about apes.
About monkeys?
Anything I want on monkeys. Anything.
What are you going to write?
Don't know. Think about it.
Well, give him a typewriter. He'll come up with Shakespeare eventually.
Yeah.
But
You could write
anyway,
about that. Why didn't you write about that? The fact that you don't believe it. You don't believe that an infinite number of monkeys could type because it was Shakespeare.
Because you reckon most of them hadn't have read Shakespeare, so they wouldn't know some of the spellings.
Exactly.
It wouldn't happen.
You idiot. Get on with it.
All right.
There's been a few things, but one that springs to mind is they found a load of monkeys somewhere. Right?
This is brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine this if this was news.
Yeah.
Go on. Where?
I
Somewhere.
think it was in.
17th century?
It doesn't matter that bit. Right?
Okay.
Found a load of monkeys
Yeah.
that are having a good chat.
Go on.
They're having a good chat. All right.
What do
They
you
found
mean?
monkeys that can talk.
Yeah.
They've worked out. They've got about 534 different words that they're using to like have a chat about. Stuff.
More than you.
Yeah, what do they chat about then?
Just things that monkeys are worrying about. Just where do you get that from?
Who does your hair?
You going over there again, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen that?
Sorry, you can't just leave that.
No. I'm just intrigued. I'm just intrigued to know what else. Is there any?
No, I mean that.
Were they
was-
discussing the Humanzy? Did you see that program on Channel 5?
Good,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
He can walk upright.
Yeah.
It was good,
But
wasn't
I
it?
mean,
Did you
what
see
do
how well
Do you
hung
mean
he
they
was?
taught them? They taught themselves this language.
Yeah.
Where? Where is this? In the wild? Is this? Is it? Not sign language.
It's
but
in some jungle somewhere. They found these monkeys. He heard some explorer was over there, cutting through the woods and that.
and he heard his name,
Heard
and he
some
thought, "That's what he went. What do you want, Ronnie?" He went, "It wasn't me. I didn't say.
Yeah.
I didn't say. Oh, Snodgrass. Where'd you get that gun?"
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's only me and you here.
Yeah.
It's weird, isn't it?
No, it's not weird. It's not true.
Well,
right, come on then. What's
Well,
next?
Once again, but what I'm thinking, I mean, that did happen.
So, well,
And to sort of add to that feature,
that's not true.
we're doing Cheap as Chimps.
Right. Can I just say now to the audience, if you thought that Rockbusters was bad, if you thought that piece of rubbish earlier about the Chinese hairy kid was bad, I'm suspecting this is going to be really not very good at all. I'm just pointing the finger.
What do you think of it? What do you think of his negativity, Carl?
He keeps doing it.
I just don't think you should start with the name of the quiz first. This is my only concern. You've come up with Cheapest Chimps, and now you're trying to construct a game around that.
see
And
if it
I'm not
works.
sure it's a proper... Well, okay, what is the game? Let's hear it.
Right, it's about a chimp, right?
Surprising.
Spoke to an expert about him.
Who was the expert?
Someone at London Zoo.
Okay.
How many bananas do you think the little chimp that they've got at London Zoo eats a day?
Right. How many bananas does a little chimp at London
Can
Zoo
they call
eat?
in for
No,
this?
I'd leave it. I'm just testing it out on Steve because we've already got an email thing going on here.
So how many bananas do they eat a day? One chimp per day, how many bananas?
Yeah.
How many bananas does a chimp eat a day? And does this mean that, because sometimes I've seen them on the telly, they peel one, they'll just eat a bit of it, then they'll throw it away. We're talking a whole banana?
How many bananas does it eat a day?
How many bananas do you eat a day?
Getting angry. Come on.
Well, I'll try and have 2 if I've got time, but I'm pretty busy.
Well, I'll go swinging on your tyre.
How many do you reckon?
I think a little monkey, tiny little monkey, per day, over the course of a day, I reckon he probably eats 15 bananas.
Right, Ricky, what are you going for? Little chimp at London Zoo.
But hold on, but presumably they don't only feed it bananas. So
Okay.
so the question is,
It's how many bananas does it eat? Come on,
yeah, but
Rick.
how many does it get given? It would eat 15 if it was given 15, but it might be given one slice of banana, 15 oranges, 200 potatoes, and some lettuce.
How many bananas does it eat? Come on. It's
5.
have a guess.
5?
Yeah.
Right. It's only 1.
Yeah, because it only gets given one.
Cheap as chimps.
What?
So, it's pretty cheap to have a chimp.
Right. I'm on your side now, Steve.
I don't understand what happened then. What, so at the end of it, you always shout cheap as chimps. Is that what? That's the quiz, is it?
Oh, play a record.
Wait, so is that it? Is that seriously
Is
it?
that it? Was that the first instalment of Cheapest Chimps?
Yeah.
We'll have to see what the press say about this.
And why does it only eat one banana? Because it only gets given one banana.
I think that's all it wants.
No.
So you don't even know. You didn't even bother to
No,
ask him.
it wouldn't just get given one banana and nothing else. It would get given banana and then lots of other stuff like apples, oranges, carrots. It would get given a balanced diet.
Cigars.
Yeah. So it's just how many do they give it at London Zoo?
I look forward to playing this again.
A man we pass. Who is he and what is he to you?
Who is he and what is he to you? We have not had any successful answers on your quiz, Carl. We've had people who've
That's
got
what you get
a
when you
maximum
put
of 4.
a duck in a microwave.
Yeah, yeah.
Bill Withers.
Nice.
All right.
Cheers. So I'm not talking about cheapest chimps.
That's safe. That's going to run and run.
Yeah,
that is going to run and run.
That's really got legs.
I'm going to check the press Monday. I can only assume it's a triumph.
Exactly, another Pilkington triumph.
Yeah.
I'm going to give the prize, if you don't mind, Carl, to Karen and Jeff Gillian, because they're the only one that got. They were the only couple that got the second answer, which was very, very.
But
tricky.
they got 4 today.
But they only got 4
But
right.
4 is the top answer. So should we give the
So
answers
play it,
now?
Carl, and then tell us who each one is.
Right. So there you go.
I didn't know the second one.
There's
Play it
this
again.
very Chinese kid.
So the first one, the last.
There she goes.
Right.
That's George Harrison.
No.
That's Philip Bailey. And that's Deacon Blue.
Right. So it was the Lars,
Yeah. What's the second one?
Strokes,
That was very tricky.
That is hard.
George Harrison for
Harrison, yeah.
Airy. That's all I could get. It was Ari.
Ari Krishna, yeah.
But it, no. Chinese, Phil Bailey.
Chinese War is.
Yeah. And Deacon Blue, Real Gone Kid.
Real Gone Kid, yeah.
There's this airy Chinese kid.
Very,
Yeah.
very
I
hard.
love the fact that the normal bit of that, right, the normal bit is like the well-known phrase, there's this hairy Chinese
yeah,
kid.
exactly.
Like, nothing happened there. That's normal. There's this hairy Chinese kid. As a phrase that often... In fact, you're right. We must have said that phrase 20 times today. When was the last time that was said 20 times?
Never. I don't think it's ever been said anyway.
There's this hairy Chinese kid. I mean...
Even in China.
I don't think it's... Well, it's very rare.
Definitely not said in China. The prizes they've won.
The prizes they won: Red Dwarf DVD, Live Forever, the best of Britpop, Marin and Jeff on VHS, and the best of Led Zeppelin. Well done to Karen and Jeff Gillian.
I've also seen no proof of this hairy Chinese kid.
None whatsoever.
Alpine Stars, Burning Up on XFM 104.9, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Carl Pilkington. Steve, you were out of the room there.
Mm-hmm.
Carl took a phone call from someone.
Okay.
He's found a cellmate.
Right.
Not a soulmate, I think one day they will be cellmates.
Yes.
Because he's just like, he loves everything Carl loves, and he was telling Carl stuff, and Carl's face was lighting up.
Yeah.
He's told him of 2 Russian kids in the circus. They're covered in hair, and their mum tells them off because they're covered in fleas. Carl said, see, that annoys me again, innit? they do something else. And the bloke went, yeah, they should just make money out of being hairy. And Carl went, exactly. And he said, have you heard of the three-legged juggler? And the bloke went, no, what's that? He went, that annoys me as well. Because he thinks they shouldn't have done juggling, they should have done football.
Do you know what I mean, though, Steve?
What do you mean a three-legged juggler? What are you talking
He's a
about?
famous three-legged juggler.
Oh, he's mega famous. He's like the Beckham of wherever he's from.
But the other day I was looking in, I don't know, Bizarre magazine or something, right? And there was this fella who, he had no arms. So you saw a picture of him, his job was fixing watches, did it with his feet.
Go on.
Well, it's just, why pick the most hard